Well, hello everyone, and how are you all doing on this Wednesday? It's Hump Day. And how are we starting this Hump Day off? With some support from Trick. Seriously, thank you so much. I didn't even get the stream started, and I saw this up here. Trick says, let the day be green for everyone. And that's the theme of the day for sure. Why? Because we're for sure getting a 25 basis point cut. 25 at the minimum right now. The numbers did change a little bit overnight. There was a 4% change, more to the I don't want to say hawkish, but to the conservative side of things here. So what we're looking at is now a 71% chance of a quarter hit, 29% chance that we're going to get the 50. And remember, the Fed fund rate is something that really has a global effect. Rockland Albrecht says, morning, y'all. D. Scott Love says, Trick, better be a green day. I'm waiting on weed arriving on my island. Ooh, mine beating is Schwartz. Nice. Nice. Yeah, and thank you, Trick, for the support. It is greatly appreciated, sir. Hopefully you saw that auction stuff regarding Game of Thrones, because that was some really cool stuff. We watched this program, and it had to do with the garments of Game of Thrones, and it was the dress. There was this dress that was made. It was like over $10,000 to make this dress. And then they showed this other outfit, and the outfit was made with legitimate scales. And like how they did it was they overlapped the scales, and like all like the hinge mechanisms were done on the underside, so you couldn't see it at all. It was so freaking cool to see. But today we're talking CPI data. It'll be coming out here at 8:30 a.m. I just wanted to get in alive now because I figured we'd get the questions going. We'd get the talk going. No, we're not going to Epstein Island, says Stinky Dead Pastry. No. D. Scott Love, if it doesn't turn up, let me know. Deals on wheels. And the whole deal is this, everyone. The deal is we're looking at finally getting some cutting of rates. Bob S. is hanging out with us and says, howdy, Klaus. I'm saying howdy, Bob, to you. And, Bob, I got to get off my butt and finish building the full carbon road bike. I got to get off my butt and do it. I've had this, like, road bike that I have built with components that I've purposely picked. Everything from the gears to the rims, the tires, everything. Everything on there, full carbon. It is really, really freaking cool. But I haven't put it all together yet. I got all the parts and I'm just sitting here. Shimano components hanging out. Oh, what a travesty. Swinging it on over to crypto right now. And you're looking at this. Utility far away from all-time highs. In fact, far away in terms of year-to-date performance. Just throwing it out there. Ioanni Batista says, what's up, Klaus? I'll tell you what's up. The White Sox lost yet again. We're going to have a record-breaking season to the L side. But one of the things I wanted to share was this. Look at the utility tokens all heavily in the red for the year. Polygon X Matic down 62% for the year. That rebranding with the name didn't do crap. Look, all right, you want crypto to start moving. You want prices to be hot. You can't keep playing the same old tricks over and over again and thinking they're going to have this wow factor. Do you remember a few years ago when everything was airdrops? Dude, it was airdrops, titties, airdrops, everything, airdrops money, airdrops toilet paper, airdrops whatever the f you wanted to airdrop. Now someone does an airdrop and they're like, oh man, this is kind of a bummer because we didn't move on. Because airdrops are old news. What about rebranding? Stellar did some rebranding. They did an announcement of that announcement and it backfired on them. They rebranded and didn't do crap. Ripple rebranded their ODL to, I believe it's Ripple Payments technically. So I'm just throwing it out there that utility has not done jack in the market. And what hasn't done jack is repeating the same bullshit over and over. You know, so when we get down to it, what's making money move? It's actual usage. Okay, I'm going to give you a really, really good example, and I don't want people to get pissed. I'm not here to piss people off. Remember, I'm here to bring the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad, right? Do you know why, like, NVIDIA and AI stuff is so freaking hot right now? It's because people actually use it on their phones. Like, they actually use this stuff. And I'm not talking about, like, trading crypto. I'm actually talking about using crypto. And that's my point, is AI is everywhere. I used AI to book my trip. Yeah, seriously, I did. Used AI to book my trip. So that's the whole thing. So why did AI garner a whole bunch of money during this last crypto run? Well, it's simple, because everyone's freaking using it, and it's all over the place. Businesses are using it to save money. Every business can save money. Every business wants to save money. Pretty much every business can use AI to help them out with anything, from basic call screening, inventory management, writing ads, descriptions. It's easy way to save, and everyone can use it, but not everyone can use crypto. Not everyone sends money across borders. Not every business does that. Anthony Tulip says, forget airdrop. Price is all I want. It's all I care about. It's all I need. And you're right. And that's the whole idea. Is you want price to be hot. You have to develop a product, a usage that everyone wants to use. Just like how everyone uses a cell phone. Like, you go to third world countries and people are all up on their phones. Dude, homeless got phones. Everyone's got a freaking cell phone right now, right? They gave them things out for free. They want people to stay in touch, communicate, be able to get jobs, be able to be aware. It's awesome stuff, okay? Give everyone a cell phone. No wonder cell phone companies are worth so much money, because everyone uses their product. And that's my whole point, is you have to tell me right now in the comments, what crypto product do you use? And I'm not talking about a trading platform. I'm actually talking about an actual product that you use regarding crypto. Let me know in the comments. While you let me know in the comments, I'm going to have myself a little bit of a drink. This is creatine, electrolytes, black cherry, salted black cherry, and what the hell was the other one in there? There was an extra salt thing in here. I did a hard workout yesterday, so I'm still trying to replenish. But that's the thing. Tell me about it. Tell me what products you're using, and then you could start fighting with me that we're going to start mooning, you know what I mean? Mooning on this stuff. CPI. Look, here's the deal. It's been, kind of iffy. Let's do this. Let's bring up some U.S. inflation data. Best one, seriously, is you got to go to the statistics, trading economics. I just love how their visuals are laid out. It's come down. It's come down, okay? 2.9 is the deal. That's what we got for July. That's still way higher than a lot of us were looking for. Honestly, they really was. We've been expecting twos for a while, and we just got our first 2.9. It was just the tip. It was just the tip. What are we expecting now? We're expecting 2.7s on lower. If you get a rockin', right? If you get a rockin', say like 2.3, 2.2, I don't think a 2.4 would do it, but like a 2.3 at 2.2, the markets are going to completely pivot to the positive side. Because once inflation starts coming down, discretionary spending, right, the availability for discretionary funds goes up. Crypto is discretionary spending. So that's what I'm saying. This is all about moving money, right? This isn't about gambling. And what we learned sociologically is that remember when the pandemic happened, right? And people couldn't bet on sports. What did they do? They bet on crypto. They did online casinos. People were finding ways to keep gambling. Gambling was like a resistant market. You go now, you watch your sports. It is like odds everywhere all over the screen. Watch any baseball game. Dude, it's gambling everywhere, man. Like, you start the game off with the odds and what's the over-under on strikeouts and over-under on score and to hit a home run. It's that's all over the place. So that's like a discretionary spending thing where people are like, look, we always got money to gamble. But crypto doesn't fall into that. That's why you need that to get that discretionary spending up. KPK, hurrah official, says how long until CPI data comes out? CPI data comes out at 8:30, which is 30 minutes away. So if you got questions, you got comments, you want to hang out for 30 minutes, now is your time. And again, a big shout out to Trick for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for that, sir. It is greatly appreciated. Everyone, make sure you give Trick a big thank you for supporting the channel, as it is customary that we thank the supporter. Robert Melvin hanging out with us. And Robert Melvin, oh, by the way, Mr. Melvin, let me make sure I got the right one. Hold on a second. I have this. Yes, passport, got it in my hands. Got it in my hands, which means I'm going to go across some borders here soon. Robert Melvin says, morning, everyone, just looking for some good news. Yeah, good, I think we're going to need 2.6 on lower, I think, for good. I really think that you're going to need something to really put more confidence in the market, because the real big problem is we are afraid that the global economies are just cooked in general. If you've been paying attention to global debts recently, there has been a dramatic spike in global debt. And it's not just the United States. China is having some very big issues financially. And we know the same thing with China. Their funds, their money, their investments, right? And their payments and their debts and all that all flow into everywhere in the world. The United States, to Canada, to Europe, right? Evergrande has ties everywhere in the world. So you start talking about these big bankruptcies going through. And remember with crypto, right? Remember how long it took for Celsius, right, to start bankruptcy and then to start paying out. For FTX, starting bankruptcy, when are they going to pay out? Like, what about Mt. Gox? Mt. Gox got hacked. Look how long they took. See, so a lot of these things take a long time. So just once the bankruptcy is announced, that's not when the pain is felt. That's when the shock hits the market. But the pain is really felt when people can't make their payments. My run of life says, good morning from the Ukraine. Well, good morning back to you. Glad to hear and see you watching. Tony Schaefer says, America's pastime, baseball and crypto. Love the content, Klaus. Yes, baseball's hot right now. This is playoff push, everyone. Look, you just make fun of me all you want, okay? Like, huge baseball fans. I've gone to hundreds and hundreds of games in person, and my wife has gone to way more than that. She lived a block away from the stadium in Chicago. And baseball is big in our family. We get the MLB package every year. We watch it. Oh, love baseball. Love baseball. D. Scott Love giving Trick the shout out along with Mr. Melvin. Mr. Melvin says you putting a Canadian stamp in that little book of yours. Dude, I don't know. I've booked one trip. I have booked one trip so far. I have another one planned for next summer, and I think I got something up my sleeve for this year still. I'm not saying, but I got something up my sleeve. Tony loves his baseball. I love juicy CPI data. You want the hottest green up on the screen? Let's get something 2.4 or lower. 2.4 is going to be a stretch. We had 2.9 the previous month, and that 2.9 that we got the previous month was the first time we were in the twos since March of 2021. Crypto Navigator says, wow, catching a live. Hopefully I get a bump in price action before I go to work. Dude, seriously, you want a bump in price action? Get a 2.4 or lower on CPI data. Seriously. It's like, okay, Fed fund rate is low. People can gamble on a business level, right? See, I'm using the air quotes right now. People can gamble on a business level. And by the way, thank you to 146 of you watching right now. This is really cool. Really cool group this morning. But think about that. When Fed fund rates were low, businesses could gamble because it was cheap to do so, right? Your business loans to expand, whether it's physically expand your business, your product line, your footprint, maybe your ownership structure, right? Your tree, your umbrella. All that was cheaper. Now it's crazy expensive, right? And that's what you're seeing right here on the screen. This is the crazy expensive part. That's what we're in right now. This is cooking the turkey, 500 degrees, just hitting that thing over and over. And you're not basting it. You're not basting it. You are just cooking and cooking and cooking. And what happens is if you leave the turkey in too long, just like rates too high, it stifles growth. It really starts crushing things. Now, that's a good thing when it comes to working on the supply and demand dynamics, right, which affect consumer and discretionary spending. The problem we got with that, though, is when that turkey gets overcooked for so long that, yes, it does affect the demand side, but it affects the demand side by hurting the retail consumer, and that's you and I. So this is where like the tool of the strong, right? They're using like a hammer to fix like a leaky faucet, right? That's what the Fed has. The Fed can only raise rates, lower rates, do some quantitative junk, buy a little bit of stuff, add to the balance sheet. That's it. That's all they can do. So we're waiting on juicy CPI data, but we're also waiting to see when is crypto going to do something hot. Regs are not happening this year. They're just not. Berlin, no, I will not be doing Berlin. I've been to Germany like, oh my God, like way too many times. So I'm doing something different. It is not Germany. I'm just telling you that right now. Nafal says, good morning. SEC appeal thoughts. I honestly think that if the SEC wanted to appeal, they would have done it right away. Remember, the SEC filed an interlocutory appeal back in 2023 in July, okay? They filed for that interlocutory appeal. They were denied. And that interlocutory appeal essentially was them going, yo, stop the whole case right now. We need to do an appeal on this before we go any further. And the judge was like, no, denied. You're going to have to wait until the regular appeal window. And that's what we're in right now. And I believe it goes till October 6th or 7th. Okay, it's October 6th or 7th. Patrick Dalton hanging out with us. Said he would yesterday in the video, shared his comments. Drop me something hot or spicy down below, and maybe I'll share your comments in the next video. Throwing it out there. But yeah, so we get that news, and what do we get with it? Right? So, anyways, I just getting back to the whole thing here. SEC appeal, I think the odds are less and less. But would it surprise me if Gary Bear waited to the last week to announce it? No, it wouldn't, man. It wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me because Gary's doing whatever he wants. And I think there is. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of things that Gary does that's right. Okay? He does do right stuff. Don't get me wrong. How he treats crypto is totally wrong. How he treats innovation of businesses and the arm of his power is completely wrong. Right? But the things that they do right, they don't do them right tastefully either. Like if you want to warn the consumer about scams and stuff, don't make fun of the consumer. Right? If you want to warn people about crypto being a risky bet, don't do it by making fun of those people. That just doesn't work. So that's what I'm saying. There are some things that like they do, they have their intentions are right. They're really stupid. I mean, they're really, really stupid. Let me get a quick drink here and then we'll get more into crypto talk at 8:30. So in 22 minutes, CPI data will be coming up. But let me get a quick drink here. Oh, that'll perk me up. That is a funky, funky taste. So we're hanging out right now, waiting for CPI data to roll in. My run of life says, what are your thoughts? Will crypto push higher or dump in 20 minutes? Here's the thing. If we get a number back in the threes, we're going to go in the red. Just throwing it out there. Plain and simple. You get CPI report in the threes, we're going in the red. Now, some sectors of CPI have totally softened up. Energy really has. We're looking for it to be very favorable with energy, and chunks of the food sector are breaking down as well. So that's kind of what we're looking for, the things to save us. Housing, we know, is still going to be high. Housing has just been a mess since the Rona. We're still digesting that nasty bubble. You get something in the 2.7, 2.8, 2.9. I think the market just does nothing. You get something juicy like the 2.4s, 2.3s, we go green. We go green, and the rate cuts really, really start. Because then you wouldn't be looking necessarily at a 50 basis point cut on the next meeting. You would be looking at a cumulative minimum three cuts this year with pretty good juice on getting that fourth cut. So that's the play as it stands. Patrick Dalton says, hey, Klaus, watch Trump and Kamala debate. Kamala did okay. Felt like she was copying Obama, in-hand movements, etc. Trump did good also. No talk from Trump on crypto. He playing it safe. Come on, Fed. Yeah, to be honest with you, I see the report says, hey, crypto is worth about 3 to 5% of the vote. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot. If an election is only decided by a couple points, swaying the crypto vote completely your way is enough to turn an election. But you're definitely noticing they don't want to talk about it. And by they, I'm meaning like when there's opportunities out there in the public like these debates, they stay away from crypto. It's a really, really weird phenomenon. Crypto Celt says, good morning, greetings from Cleveland. Dude, man. Your Indians are beating the crap out of my socks, and you have one hell of a lineup, man. Trick is saying 3.1. Now let's do this. Why don't you let me know your guesses down below? What are you thinking that today's CPI data is going to be? Trick, if we get a 3.1, we're going red, my guy. We're going to go red with a 3.1. But the word on the street has it that we're going to get a break in some parts of the energy still, and we're going to definitely get a break in food. We have seen used 2.7. I think that's a good number. I don't think it would be enough to pivot the market crazy green. I think the market really wants that 50 basis point cut. And to get that 50 basis point cut, you're going to need to seriously see like a 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Like to really have a chance, you'd have to be more in that 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. 2, 4 would be kind of, you maybe got a 50% chance that you're going to get a 50 basis point cut. But yeah, 2, 7, I think we go sideways. Grant says 1.9. Holy crap, ole. Holy crap, ole. Man, if we get a 1.9, then the markets are going to absolutely roar. I don't think you're going to see a 1.9 though. The last time we saw a reading in the ones was February of 2021. Newbie says, sipping my coffee, waiting for RL USD to hit XRPL. By the way, in regards to RL USD and XRPL, it is only available for institutions when it launches officially. Like at the beginning, it is going to be for institutions only. And I am a little bothered by that because I was really hoping that you would be able to have something for maybe the retail level consumer, or even if you capped it to like, hey, look, it's $2,000 minimums, it's $3,000, $5,000 minimums, something like that, like a smaller digestible chunk. I think that would have been great because I think you would have seen a huge amount of people investing in that. And you could think that the yield on something like that, a product would be pretty close to 7-ish% right now. You'd be really close to 7-ish%. So, I mean, 7% on savings is that's a pretty good number right there, especially if you're talking about a stable coin. But it all comes down to company trust. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to actually be able to go, once RL USD is listed, we're going to be able to go on here, and just like we can with USDC, we're going to go and be able to check out what the market cap looks like and see how much money is being put in there. Because think about it, stable coins, right? And RL USD functions the same way. It's all about trust in the company. If you don't have trust in the company, the stable coin just doesn't do good, right? But if the company garners a lot of trust, is very strong financially, their attestation reports are legit, they've got good backing, they've got good liquidity, they've got good mechanics, then it works. Let's see, Patrick says, weeks, not months, Mr. Garlinghouse said. Small coffee if you listen to facts, not noise. Yeah, and the facts are going to be once RL USD launches, we're going to be able to see exactly how much is going on, what the volume is. Because the volume for stablecoins, it's where it's at for these companies. And that's why I think this move actually helps Ripple privately more. It really, really does. Because think about this. Look at USDC, okay? USDC's volume in 24 hours is 5.4 billion. That's a lot of juice you're making on that volume. And you got to ask yourself, is Ripple going to have more trust than Circle as a company? And especially as a global company. Is this where Japanese money is going to come in big, is into RL USD? We're going to see. I think it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Anthony's got a good point. How many facts have turned out to be rubbish? And not just rubbish, just not used. News that turned out to be just a dud in terms of effect, right? But RL USD, when you're looking at it, we're going to be able to track the volume. We're going to be able to track the market cap. We're going to be able to see like how many players really have faith in Ripple internationally. And this is going to be a very cool metric to track. Now, speaking of Ripple, by the way, their private shares are down 30% here in the near term. So it's not just the XRP price that took a hit here as of late. It was the private shares also have just gotten pounded. It was 30%, I think, in a month. That was the time frame. So yeah, real interesting news going across here. I think RL USD will be great for Ripple as a company. I think it's going to make them so much money because you don't need a lot of employees. You don't need a lot of overhead to make money with stable coins. Look at Tether. Tether proved that you can have hardly any employees and make a ton of money because you're using digital stuff, people using stable coins. The volume that's made from that is just absolutely insane compared to their workforce. Now, speaking of workforce, that's part of the reason, too, why crypto just isn't as hot lately. Because the workforce, right, some of these jobs report that are coming out are starting to be really, really soft. And softer than pre-pandemic levels. That's the scary part. See, the reason the market really had a little bit of trouble here this last week is because on Friday, the jobs report came out. And it was not good at all. And there were some revisions. And the problem with the jobs report is the levels were down. I mean, way down. So if you don't have a lot of hiring, obviously businesses aren't expanding. And why aren't businesses expanding? Because they ran out of their cash that they were using before, their cheap money that they had before. Venture capital firms built up a whole bunch of capital right here. And that bubble of capital that they built up right here on the screen, they were spending during here. That's why VC was still able to go big in crypto through 2023. They had the money to do it, the cash. Now they burn it out. So now that the jobs report is a little softer, the market's like, well, crap, man. Crap, what are we going to do right now? We don't have the consumer strong and yet prices are high. Well, then what happens? You start going into a recession. You start going to where people now are saving money rather than going out. Instead of maybe going out to dinner, you're like, look, let's just buy ourselves something nicer from the store. It's not as expensive. We can enjoy it at home. Like, you're going to see that. You're going to see spending shrink. And that's where this dichotomy between jobs, rates, right, and inflation is just so big because it's like a three-legged chair and you try to balance yourself, but one of the legs is longer than the others and it's just a weird wobbly motion, and that's what we're going through. So now that the jobs have totally like softened up, right, now that the jobs have really just kind of gone, and it's they're lower than pre-pandemic levels. That's crazy. That is crazy to think about because I mean, the whole pandemic thing was just a wild time. But anyways, so now that the jobs softened up, the retail consumer spending is softened up. Discretionary spending is heavily softened up. Prices are still high. There you go. Sergio says, did they cut rates? Rate cuts will not be until the 18th. That is the contract maturity date, the 18th. Today is the CPI data, which determines those rate cuts. Bob S. has got a really good point. Bob S. says, lots of new retirees not spending cash. Dude, good point, man. Good point on that. And the retiree numbers are going to really be blowing up because, that's just the age shift here. So there's a lot of dynamics, and it's like sitting on a three-legged chair, except one of the legs is just slightly longer than the others. And you try to find that sweet spot, but you can't. Like, it just keeps pivoting back and forth, back and forth. And it's not just the United States. Like, Although numbers in other countries might be different, other countries are having very, very similar graphs like this. A lot of countries, Eurozone is having it. Now, Canada's cut rate 3 times, but there's still some problems with overall inflation costs, right? Inflation rates. There's still a problem. Patrick Dalton says stable coins are where the cash is. For Ripple, retail is worried, and that's worldwide. Mega cuts needed. Sure, the CPI, the CPI's got to be good. If seriously, we need to break this. We need it to break. But the issue with CPI, though, that's just not breaking is housing. Housing is still not breaking. And that's a huge problem for all of us because that's the biggest expense for most people. In 10 minutes until the CPI data gets dumped. And don't worry, we're going to be breaking it down. Let me grab a quick drink right here. Getting my electrolytes in because I pushed it pretty hard yesterday. Bone Lippus is a good comment. Says ramen and mac and cheese from here on out. Enjoy. And that's the thing. If the consumer starts pulling back their spending, right? Because jobs are soft, because it still costs a lot of money to go to the grocery store, all of a sudden, then what? A lot of things start shrinking. Then businesses themselves that are in the retail spending, the entertainment sector, they start shrinking. Because then they notice, hey, there's less people at restaurants, less people at movie theaters. There's less people going to sporting events. Like all of a sudden, if all that, then you see all these other industries shrink. And then when all these other industries and these peripheral industries start shrinking, what happens is what? Then now other jobs start shrinking. And it just brings into this recessionary bubble. That is the fear we have right now. And that's why this last jobs report really put the brakes on the market. And what's interesting is, as much as we hate Jerome Powell said there are going to be some laggard effects. There's going to be some ripples to the market that are going to show up months down. Because think, the Fed has had rates paused now for a long time. Since August of 2023, we're over a year at this high rate. Now all of a sudden you're starting to see softness in jobs, right? You're starting to see some things break down in the economy. Home Depot and Lowe's both came out and said big ticket purchases are down heavily. Think about that. So home improvement sector, right? You're starting to notice some pullback in spending there. And that's what I'm saying. Crypto is fueled by retail. And for everyone out there that's telling you, oh, you're going to get reg soon, you're going to get reg soon, they're full of poopy. December 2nd of 2022, you see the U.S. flag with the skull right here? December 2nd of 2022, I put down that crypto was dead in the United States. I got roasted in the comments. Bro, you're stupid. We're going to get regs in 2023, bro. Bro, 2023 is, oh, it's it. We're going to get it 2024. It's it. We're going to get it. And I said no. I said crypto is dead. I watched the hearings with you. For those of you that are watching live right now, you watched the live hearings with us. We did this. We did this. We did this together, some of you OG members out there. But I called it December 2nd of 2022. I said you're not going to get crap for regs. And guess what we had? We had a crypto hearing yesterday that didn't go nowhere. And now that everyone's out trying to get elected, you ain't going to get it now either. So be very careful out there when people are trying to fill you with hopium, not with the facts. Not with the facts. That's why when Brad Garlinghouse said that the crypto was going to be like a $5 trillion market cap this year, of course he's not going to say something negative because then people are going to be like, oh crap, dude, a big crypto player out there is being negative. No, they're always going to lean positive. Why did Danelle Dixon say that they were going to get regs in 2023? Because if she would have said what I did, which was, no, you're not going to get regs until you get a new voting regime, people are going to be like, well, then why should we build and invest with you? No, they tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. Diamond Ruff says 60 eggs. Oh, dude, this is awesome. Diamond Ruff says 60 eggs went from 1109 to 1890 in weeks. Yep, call it inflation. Diamond Ruff is talking about the big cardboard containers, and we get those here because my dogs eat eggs. I eat lots of eggs, and so does my son. Eggs have gone up. So yeah, I could definitely see that flaring up, but that wouldn't be on this report. That would be on the next one. But good call on that. Junior Morian says, I believe housing will go down if people don't buy at high prices. Until that happens, housing will not change. Yeah, and right now what's happening with housing is, dude, people, like, rent is going through the roof. So anyone that's buying a house, like a lot of private equity groups are buying homes right now, and they're renting it like for extremely high amounts, driving rent prices up in local markets. So housing is still screwed because you got rent to deal with. BZ's hanging out with us. Callie Love. Here, West Coast is the best coast. But trail runners say the East Coast is the beast coast. So just throwing it out there. BZ's hanging out with us as obligatory supportive comment. Well, thank you, kind sir. A tip of the hat to you. Crypto Celt says, regardless of the news, people on the channel are better looking than any other. Ooh, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Right now, though, you got a 71% chance with the Fed. That data pivoted. What's going to happen is this, okay? When you watch videos from this channel for the next several days, okay? Because you know I'm going to cover this. You know I'm going to cover it. I'm going to break it down, kind of tell everyone how this all works. Let's see what this changes. From a 71% chance of a 25 basis point cut, let's see what the change is after CPI. Let's see how accurate we all are. I've been pretty good with this. CPI data I've been pretty good with. I've been pretty good with it. Trick is in the camp of being super hawkish, which Trick might be getting the overall effect with the jobs report, so my man knows what he's talking about. We're also looking right now of stablecoins. RL USD, once it launches, guess what? We're going to see how popular it is. 4 minutes from Diamond Rough is saying, yeah, that's when we're going to get juicy CPI data. You know I'm going to be clicking that refresh button left and right like a fiend. Gosh. John Page says, Australia is the best. Thanks. And we're very good looking. Well done with that comment. Easy Does It says, ooh, I like the name, man. That rolled off the tongue pretty well. And you spelled it very phonetically. Thank you for that, kind sir. Says, Klaus, appreciate your content and straightforward approach. It's refreshing. I'm somewhat of a new sub. Dude, totally welcome, man. I try to break it down to where there's some fun to it and it's not as dry, but without the hopium stuff. Like, if there's good news, don't get me wrong. I'm going to tell you that there's good news. If there's bad news, I'm going to tell you if there's bad news. I don't try to sell the news with hopium because I don't think that's fair. I think that's adding an emotion to money, and I don't think you should be emotional about finances. I think you should be very mathematical and methodical. I'm really big into that. Hold up. Francois Thibodeau says Ray Gun, fuck the world. That's right. When Ray Gun did the sprinkler out there, dude, homegirl set it down. She set it down, and she's got a PhD. My gosh. New Jersey is the best. I'll tell you what's the best. Point Pleasant, Seaside Heights. Convince me I'm wrong. Convince me I'm wrong that Point Pleasant, Seaside Heights isn't the best. My grandmother lived in Lakewood, and I got to hang out with Mookie Wilson. Throw that out there for you. There's a little fun fact for the old channel. We've got, 2 more minutes until CPI data comes out. We're going to see how the crypto market reacts. Get your last minute votes in right now what you think CPI data is going to be as I take a swig of my electrolyte energy drink. Girlfriend. Womble Stacker saying 2.6. I could see a 2.8. I'm gonna go 2.8. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say 2.8. 2.8. X Game Rider says if housing is high, things will be flat across the board. Everything tracks back to home. Service work, renovation, new cars, etc. Very true. Very true. Canadians are the best. This is from Pete Turner. Trump 2024, baby, you need him to MAGA. Diamond Ruff is saying a 50 basis cut here. We're not talking about the rate cuts. We're talking about CPI data. And I'm waiting for it to come in. So I'm just going to keep clicking that refresh button. I'm going to keep moving side to side, hanging on. 6.9. There ain't no 6.9. Oh, my God. Junior Morian says 3.0 to 3.5. Y'all want the market just to crash, man. Just to crash. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to Keep refreshing this bad boy. Sorry, couldn't help it. 6.9. I get it. I like the 6.9. I mean, just not on CPI data. Gonna keep hitting the old refresh button here because I want to see it right when it comes up. It was 2.9 in July. Let's see what the August results are. And oh my gosh, how many times am I gonna hit the refresh button? Here we go. Here we go. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. Patrick Dalton's saying 2.6. Messi Leo is saying 2.6 as well. Let's see. Joke Embassy says 2.4 to 2.6. Oh, interesting. I want to lean 2.8, guys, gals. I do. I want to lean 2.8. I want to lean 2.8 because there were still some things that flared up in the market. We should be getting a break on energy on this one. We should. Here we go. August. Oh, damn, girlfriend. Damn. 2.5. 2.5. That is good. Holy crap. Check it out right here. In August, the CPI for all urban consumers rose 0.2%. Seasonally adjusted and rose 2.5. 2.5. Oh, I like this. 2.5 is great. Hold on here. Let's read it real quick. Over the last 12 months, all items increased 2.5% before seasonal adjustment. The index for shelter. Okay, here's the problem. The index for shelter rose 0.5% in August and was the main factor for all items increase. Food increased 0.1%. Okay, we get that. After rising 0.2% in July. The index for food away from home. Okay, so like your restaurants, meal services, stuff like that, was up 0.3. That's a fair amount. Energy, yep, this is good. Energy fell 0.8%. That is good. That is really, really good. We are starting to get some things to break. Now, let's take a look here, all right? Let's take a look at food. So here, look, food away from home, you can see up on the screen. That is way higher. Way higher. So food away from home, that's a big one. And see, you notice that when you go out to the restaurants, it is still expensive. 2.5 though, this is freaking awesome. Food at home. Now, here's the whole thing, right? Someone said eggs. Check it out. Meat, poultry, fish, and eggs up the most. But check this out. Cereal starting to go negative, which means prices are starting to go down. Fruits and vegetables, negative 0.2. PM says, this is the most happy I've seen you for a report reading. Well, dude, no wonder, because watch what happens. When you zoom out on the 5-year, look, we're like solidly in the 2s. We're not flirting with the 3s. We're solidly in the 2s. And the last time we were in the 2s was over 3 years ago. Dude, for 3 years, man, I've had to report like bad stuff, dude. Bad stuff. Finally get to report some juicy data. I love this. I told you I would rather do like good news reports, but man, look at energy commodities going down. Fuel oil down 12%. Gasoline down 10%. Gas is actually starting to break out here by me. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Mike the Roofer says, in my hood, everything is bad. Companies closing, no home sales, supply houses are cutting staff. It's bad in my hood, Florida. Okay, out here, you look at, housing is really strong out by me. Really, really strong by me. It is expensive, in terms of you're starting to notice housing spiking in cost. It's generally relatively affordable, but we're still doing good in South Carolina. Georgia's not so bad. The market's looking better. You're seeing some things kind of start turning here, which is a good sign. Let's look at this right here, and let's just zoom in just a little bit. Hold on a second, and let me get the old candlesticks. We're going to go, and we're going to zoom into the 1 minute. And here we go. We're going to leave this up here. I've got the 1 minute up on the screen. We're going to leave this up, and we're going to kind of go back and forth. But it's cool. You're starting to see things to the negative. Let's see. What else do we got? Services less energy. Okay, so check this out. This is the big problem. Transportation is up big. Medical care is up big. Shelter is up big. 5.2 was shelter. 5.2 in shelter. PM says, I'm in Melbourne. The cost of milk and bread is a joke, especially when your family only drink lactose-free weaklings. Dude, yeah. It's milk. Eggs has gotten stupid out here. Canada's got it way worse. I got to be honest with you. Canada, in terms of like what their cereal, their milks and all that stuff, Canada has it way, way worse. 50 cents for a half a liter of beer in Berlin. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Robert Melvin says 2.4 means we might soon be on our way to the slice of the 3.14 of the pie. 3.14159. That's all I had to memorize in school. 3.14159. Now, in terms of what's going to happen now with the Fed, I mean, this is going to change stuff. What you're going to see is you're going to see this 71% chance come down, right? You're going to see more favor for the 50 basis cut. I think my personal thing I said was 2.4 on lower, more 2.3, 2.2 was what would have really, really made the market rock. 2.5 though, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it, man. A couple months in a row of good news like that, I will take it. James Isengard says, good morning, Klaus. Good morning back to you. Womble Stacker says, wish our fuel was cheaper in the UK. $1.34 a liter. Yeah, gas, very cheap out here. Gas is $2.55 a gallon. When I went to Colorado and was deep in the mountains, it got up to like $4.50 a gallon for the cheap stuff. We're taking a look at the market. Bitcoin at 56,636. ETH is 2324. BNB's at 516. BNB has been effing resilient, everyone. Once they got CZ out of the way, BNB has just been doing amazing things. Sol up next for the ETFs, but is there love for Sol price-wise? I don't know, 131. XRP is sitting at 53.1, while ICP starting to claw its way back. It was only like, what, $7 just not too long ago? ICP starting to make moves. Kaspa also closer to its ATH. Swede down big in the red, down 5%, 8.8. And that is the price roundup. Yeah, $4.50 a gallon, though, is still very cheap considered what people are paying in the UK. Way, way cheap compared to that. James is hopium free. Love it. Yeah, totally hopium free here. I bring good news, bad news, whatever you want. You know, just that's the deal. John Page says, eggs are priced high because if they let them grow, they get more money for them. Oh, okay. Okay. I just know I love eggs, man. I do. Eggs are crazy. Oh, okay. $10 for a 30-pack of eggs in Canada. Yeah, I can see that. That's what I'm saying. Canada also, their cereal prices are way higher. And my son's like a big Lucky Charms fan. So like, you know, you got to have the Lucky Charms. And you're going to pay a lot for Lucky Charms. Just throwing it out there. Let's see. Somerset, $1.34. That's price per liter. Wow, that's a lot, man. That is a lot of money. Patrick Dalton's hanging out with us, and Patrick says, I think a 50 basis cut. Okay, let's talk about that. I mean, while we're all here hanging out, we saw the data, we saw it break. You see what the numbers are right now. You see what it looks like, right? Let's zoom in a little. Let's give you the 1 year. Let's be nice. This is what the 1 years look like for CPI data. What are we getting? Are we getting a 25 or are we getting a 50 basis point cut? Let me know. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. So when it comes to the Fed, 2.5, this is the best we have seen. I mean, this is the best we've seen in 3 years. D. Scott Love says that translates to $7.83 a gallon. Dude. Holy shit, man. Oh my God. That is crazy. Sorry, we're were talking about what costs have been. If you're just joining us, we've been talking about like consumer, like costs that we've been paying and how it ties into the crypto markets. And in food and gas, eggs are a big one. Eggs have really shot up. Eggs are like the big cartons by me are like 18, 19 bucks, like all day long. Dollar or £1.56 for per liter for gas. That's nuts, man. That is absolutely nuts. $5 for 30 eggs in Sweden. That's not too bad. I mean, $10 for 60 is not that bad. Peter Turner saying, praying for a 50 basis point cut. We need these cuts because you need these rates to come down. Bank of Canada, by the way, Bank of Canada has done 3 rate cuts already. So think, for businesses out there that want to grow, for businesses that want to hire and expand and use loans to do so, they're paying a lot less juice. A lot less juice. Mike the Roofer says, praying for 50, I'm tired of the struggle. Okay, that's a good one. Home equity lines of credit, okay? Home equity lines of credit are tied to the Fed fund rate, okay? So if rates are really high and people have that home equity line, they're not going to use as much of it, which stops the home improvement industry yet again. That's why I brought up Lowe's and Home Depot, said, look, we've had a big pullback in big ticket items. Francois Thibodeau, love the Canadian love on this channel, says, yup, 3 cuts and more to go. That is very true. Canada's going to have quite a few more. Canada's peeling it back real quick here. And that's the issue is you had Japan, by the way, Bank of Japan said they may be raising rates 0.4%. So you still got countries that when you look at their data out here and when you zoom out, you're still looking at countries fighting some way higher inflation and some laggering effects that are just really holding things back. Melvin's saying what we're all thinking. We need housing to come down. I know. Trust me, I know it. Housing. Okay, here, I'm a perfect example, okay? I would love to sell this house. And get something a little bit different for what would fit what like this phase of my life is for. Like, don't get me wrong, this is great for kids, but like I want to get something like a me and my wife and my doggy's property, like something cool. Well, I'm not even looking now because there's no inventory on the market because no one's selling because rates are so crazy high. So by me, we don't have enough inventory for the demand out here. So I can't even list my home because why would I sell my home if there was nothing to look at? What am I going to do? Like live with my parents for a while? Hell no. No. That's not going to happen. Plus my parents would freak out with the dogs. The dogs are big. So I just, housing needs to come down. And housing needs to come down because you need to increase the supply. Not only do rates have to come down to make all this stuff more affordable, you have to actually increase the supply. There is not enough affordable housing in the world, period. And if there's not enough affordable housing in the world, that means that demand side of the equation is getting messed up because the supply side is already messed up. So it's kind of... It's frustrating. It really is, everyone. We're all dealing with this, and it's global. We're all dealing with the same stuff: food being expensive, housing, and all that stuff. Is the dump going in now expected, and when do we see a pump? I don't ever worry about right after a meeting because what happens is right after a meeting, when you have the reaction, that's actually the overreaction. That's people that were looking at this going, oh, we need 2.2, we need 2.3. They don't get it, they dump. But that's a very small percentage of the market. You're looking at 53.3 at the announcement to 53.1. So when you zoom out, it's like not even really a blip on the radar. Like this is a more pivotal move. This I'm not concerned with. Come back in like an hour or two after all the first level of selling goes away, and you'll see what really happens price-wise. Let's see. John Page, just buy chickens and you'll get free eggs. Meat later, problem solved. Yeah, we do see a lot of people raising chickens out here. Yeah, Francois says also with the high house prices come the tax. Yeah, that's true because the taxes now are crazy high. Up north, you can have a $250,000 home and you could pay $10,000, $12,000 a year in taxes easily. On a $250,000 home, starter home, you could pay big 5 figures. Like, it's just how it is. Taxes are too much. And you're not getting anything for your taxes either from the government. So that's a big problem as well. So not only are you paying a lot for your taxes, you're not getting a lot for your tax money. James says, Kamalato, love it. Got tore back from the debates. Here, let me ask you a question with the debates. Do you think, honestly, and everyone be honest with me, and this is where I want y'all to light up the comments because I want to see what you think. Do you think anyone watching the debate either changed their mind or made up their mind with that debate? Do you think either an initial choice or an opposite choice? Francois says Trudeau. Oh, Trudeau is horrible. Trucker Trash says taxation without representation. The thing is, Trucker Trash, we get representation, but we get taxation without proper utilization. They don't use our money correctly. They just don't. Do we have a vote? Yes. So we do get representation, but we don't get utilization of our money. Here's a good way. Okay? Here's a good way. I want you to think of a company. Think of any company out there. If they spend billions and billions and billions of dollars and they don't get crap for it and they just have no good products, it's a waste of money, right? But if a company spends billions and makes tons of products and makes revenue from those, then it's good. So it's about the performance. Let's see. I'm voting for the pimp, not the prostitute. Oh, bitch, but have my money. Love it. Love it. Let's see. It made up my mind that the media hates Trump. That was a 3-on-1. Good call on that, Hoove, man. Salted Dog on the chain says, no, still voting Trump. A lot of people saying no. A lot of people saying no. Cat ladies for Kamala. That's pretty funny. Am I the only one seeing Harris shaking? If they meet again, I hope they talk crypto. Let me get a quick drink here. We'll talk about the debate a little. I think we start looking at it, and I think we start looking at it going, is the debate even a useful tool? If the debate isn't like a true and fair debate, right? If the debate really is like a 3 against 1, if the debate is, not fair or anything like that, then is it really a debate? And if a debate doesn't really have an effect like on the public, then what's the point, right? Like what's the point of advertising if you're not reaching people? Because that's what a debate's supposed to be. Show your platform, reach people that are interested to hearing you. But we've gotten so far away from things that a lot of us are moderate out here, okay? A lot of us, even you, most of you watching right now are fairly moderate. You want some fun over here, but you also want some fun over here too. And I think that's really great. I think that makes sense. But you can't act and vote that way, right? Because you just don't fit in. So it's really wonky. By the way, James Isengard donating some support to the channel. Thank you very much, James. Everyone give James a big thank you, as is customary on the channel. This is their first super on a stream. Cool. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Trick giving James some love. Mike the Roofer says, I fire people for no performance. And that's my point, is the government spends and spends and spends, but their performance is poor. Like, it's just, the spending is bad too. So I get it. We need to fix inflation. We need to fix housing. We need to fix food. But we also need to fix the efficiencies of the governments. If you don't fix the inefficiencies of a government, I don't care if they're Republican, I don't care if they're Democratic, nothing is going to get done correctly. And so I look at this differently. So people are always like, oh, who are you voting for? Dude, chicks, I got to be honest with you. No matter who you vote for, the system that they operate in is inefficient, which means it's made to drain your money. So the problem I have is I don't care who you put into that system. The system of how it works is just not there to benefit us. It's there to benefit big business interest. That's it. It's all about big businesses and money. Why do you think weed is not legal in the United States federally? Because a lot of the pharmacy companies know they wouldn't have to sell pain meds because a lot of those pain med people could move on over to the great cannabis. It's about money. It's all about big businesses and their interests. Look at the problems crypto has had. I wonder where the problems with crypto came from. They came from the banking sector because the banking sector is like, oh crap, we've got a threat to us. We've got a product that might change banking and how it's been over the last 100 years. So now all of a sudden you're sitting here going, oh, let's see what we could do with crypto. Insert Gary Gensler. Insert Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren. Like, you see what I mean? That's what this is all about. Easy Does It says facts about the legal bud. It's true. And here's the other thing. And not only is the cannabis thing and it's all about the money, why is it a Schedule 1 substance? Rated so dangerous that you can't even like trial with it? Are you kidding me? Dude, it is about money. That's the hard part. Peter Turner says Elon will fix the inefficiency. No, it's one person doesn't fix this. Because this is in every industry. The gas industry out there is heavy into this stuff, is heavy into politics. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, Elon is one person. You have to have such an amount of energy needed to fix this problem that Elon cannot fix it. It's because the system is bad. Why do you think nothing gets done in Congress? You think these people are that stubborn and hard-headed? They're stupid, yes. Stubborn and hard-headed, no. It's the people that are paying them are saying, hey, look, we're going to keep giving you lots of money, but you got to toe our line. And they're like, look, I want a job. I want a job. You know what I mean? Like, I want to keep getting paid. So, yeah, I'm going to represent the oil companies. Done. Now you have to stay in line with that agenda. From that point on, the system's broken. And special interest groups rule politics. It is systemic, Trucker Trash. That's a great comment. It is systemic. So it doesn't matter who you put in office. The system sucks ass. Okay, for my Democrats watching, for my Republicans watching, what was Obamacare supposed to do? Bring the cost of healthcare down and give access to everyone. Well, guess what? Healthcare has gone through the effing roof. Do you have access for everyone? Yes. Do you have protection for pre-existing conditions? Yes, you do. But now the cost of healthcare is astronomical. Have we fixed it since then? No, we haven't. So again, it didn't matter because who won on that? The insurance company. That was the special interest group that made that happen. The insurance companies lobbied about this. So you just have to really put this all into perspective. That these systems that we live in right now are the problem. The politicians, yes, they're the problem too. But a lot of politicians go into this, and that's why we watch this stuff together. That's why we watch these hearings together. When we watch the Senate Ag Committee do their crypto hearing, we watch it because we want to see how people are really going to act. And what we learned was all those young bucks, right? And all those young does come into the scene. And they come in and they act and talk all hot, and then all of a sudden the next meeting they're quiet as shit. Because all of a sudden people start whispering in their ear, hey, girlfriend. You want to keep your job? You better be anti-crypto. My name is Maxine Waters. If you don't, I'm going to bring you in my G-Ride and beat your punk ass up. And that's how it works. Junior Morian says Obama made millies. Yes. Yes, it is greed-driven. That's Mike the Roofer. It's just, the system itself is the problem. Regine Johnson. Texas, if I remember correctly, Regine, is it Texas? No. That's Texas. Sweet tea is Texas. Regine might be Australia. Let's see. It's like voting for which person you want to hold your life savings. None of them. And that's very true. And Regine, North Carolina. Oh, Jesus, I was way off. Well then, Regine, I'm sorry because I mixed you up with someone. See, look, I'm being honest. I mixed her up with someone. North Carolina. Where at? I lived in Greensboro for a year. I loved it, by the way. I loved Greensboro. Greensboro was a freaking blast. Just throwing it out there. So the system itself is the mess, and the inefficiency is a mess. So the issue, okay, Fed fund rates and inefficiency of government. I'm going to tie this together, okay? Fed fund rate high. So you're paying a lot of money, okay? A lot of juice on your debt. Well, the United States is increasing their debt, and the rate that they're paying on their debt is even higher. The interest per day is $3 billion. Think about that if you live in the United States. $3 billion. That's how much interest every day the United States is paying on their debt. How can you develop and grow? What if we had $3 billion a day to help homeless? What if we had $3 billion a day to fix our bridges? What if we had $3 billion a day to fix our roads? We'd be able to fix everything within a freaking year. Could you imagine if you had a surplus of $1 trillion? What you could do with that money? But no, we're paying it in interest. Paying it in interest. CPI came in at 2.5. Mount Olive pickles, well done. Winston-Salem, you think Winston-Salem is bad? Winston-Salem's cool. I just loved Greensboro because I could go to Boxcar. Like, I took my wife for a birthday to Greensboro. We did a Greensboro weekend. We partied all weekend. It was so freaking cool. And they do a lot of street racing there too. Just throwing it out there. Yes, we did. We did need the 2.5. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to watch the data to see how much it pivots. Right now, look at this, 85%. Wow, the market wanted 2.423. 85%. Look at that we're only going to get a 25 basis point cut. Ooh. Boxcar is nice. I love Boxcar. Dude, you can just get bombed on Boxcar. Play video games all day. Oh, I love it. Vance Poole says, I'm from Greensboro. Seriously, I lived in Greensboro for 1 year. I loved it. I really, 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 really liked it. Like, really, really liked it. Fun place. Loved the trees, loved the greenery. I loved all the trails. Greensboro was really cool. Only got a year to live there, though. Let's see. Solid Crypto Gaming says anything over 2.6 would have been bearish. Yeah, I'm happy that we came out at a 2.5. Obviously, we are upset about housing. We are upset that food is still going up. And remember, people were talking about like the sell-off, and I said just wait a little bit. Look at what's happening right now. You're starting to see the market already digest the news. So right away when news happens, it's the extremists that either buy or sell. Sit the extremists out because they're only a small percentage of the buying or selling population or the investment population, and wait to see what the news is an hour or so later after people start digesting the data. We're also talking about RL USD. What are people's feelings on that? I think it's all about trust. I do. And we'll be able to track it. We'll be able to see what kind of market cap they got, what kind of volume they got with it. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, no kidding. A lot of Greensboro in the house. A lot of North Carolina in the house. Like, holy crap, man. A lot of North Carolina fans in the house. Jeez. Seriously, Greensboro was legit, man. Greensboro was totally legit. I really, really liked the whole area is cool. They had a whole bunch of parks out there. Civil War, battle scene stuff. Like, a lot of cool stuff. What's on everyone's mind? Because what I'm gonna do is this. We'll go to 9:10. 9:10 end time. Let me do that. All right, give me a second here. 9:10 end time. Give me a second here. Q's in now. All right, yeah. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the stream at 9:10. So get your questions in now. So you got about 10 minutes or so for us. Just to hang out. CPI did come in at 2.5, which is good. Wasn't enough for the markets because right away the market's initial reaction went more bearish. And again, the extremes always do their movement of the money right away, let the market digest the data. I want to see what happens to this because I bet you this number is going to change. This number is going to come lower. It's going to come down from 85%. Vance Poole says Greensboro was a terminus city, meaning the railroads connected them. They're allowed to develop faster and better than most cities. Yeah, and the roads are built very interesting out of Greensboro. Very interesting when you do like an overhead look on it. Hector the Great says, good morning, Klaus. Keep doing a great job, brother. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Thank you for your commitment and hard work giving us news. Choo choo, bitches. Hector watches to the end. Well, good. Well done, kind sir. Miguel is saying 25 points. Yeah, most likely 25. 25. Vance Poole says, do you think they'll print so much money and then force everyone to go to XRP? Why would they force people to go to XRP, though? It's still going to be tied mostly to a debt. Like, that's a problem. Like, you can't print money to escape your debts. You can't make new money. Because the problem is, it's not the money, it's the debt with that money. And if you don't fix those debts, you can't screw people over. Okay, put it this way. Let's say someone owes you $100,000 for a project you did, okay? And let's say they go bankrupt. And they get wiped out and you get $0 out of that. How do you pay your vendors where you got the supply for that $100,000 project? What about your employees that you had to pay, their insurance that you had to pay for them? You still had to pay it, right? But now you're out $100,000. You see what I mean? Like, you can't then like just tell people, hey, sorry, we can't pay you. We're going to print a new money. We're going to print a new form of currency. You can't do that because you would be screwing so many people over. The government, what they believe in is, hey, we could take loans out. Don't worry, baby. You're investing in us. We're going to get your money back. That's the government's ploy, right? The government's always trying to sell you on, oh, we need to get bigger. We need to get bigger because we need to make stuff happen. Just give us some trust. Regine says, are you still buying gold and silver? I have held off on a lot of my buying unless I get crazy good prices. Because I don't want to pay that high. My price targets for stuff is way low. So I'm going to wait for the market correct. I did make a lot, though, on selling, by the way, on the shiny stuff. Trick says, later, Klaus, I'm off gardening. Well done, sir. I got to do some running and stretching this morning. I might hit the gym here in a little bit. Vance Poole says, yeah, but there's 21 million Bitcoin and 100 billion XP. It doesn't matter what the number is. You can't just tell everyone, well, screw you, we're not going to pay your debt. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you just can't do it because then what? What happens when you print or you switch? Let's just pretend that you do switch to XRP as the currency. Then what? Are you going to use your XRP to pay for all the previous debt? That would eat up all your XRP. You'd be wiped out. So then what? You go to the next cryptocurrency? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's so much debt right here. Debt is like a black hole, okay? And the debt is so big that this black hole is just sucking up everything. Think about that. Just in the United States, the interest payment on debt is $3 billion a day. That's just sucking money up like a vacuum. $3 million a day. Do you know how fast it would suck up XRP? Do you? It would suck up XRP in 10 days. The United States debt would dissolve XRP in 10 days. That's how big the debt is. So this $3 billion a day in debt that the United States has, you can't just forget that because think of all the debt if you just didn't pay people. Think of all the companies that get payments from the government. What if all of a sudden the government was like, yo, sorry, hospitals, we can't pay you anymore. So all the Medicare, all the Medicaid they took. Like, you can't fix that with XRP. Those people still need their money. Like, these businesses still need their money. So that's why the government's like, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take out another loan to grow because we hope if we grow enough, we can cover the debt. And I bet you Zoe's at the front door. Give me 1 second here. Hey, no. Sorry about that. That was Zoe coming by to hang out. Rudy Poo says Mr. Beast needs to do a count to 1 trillion video. That'll keep him away from the children. That's kind of funny. That is actually really funny. That was a good joke. By the way, Cody Ko is also still quiet as well. At this inflation rate, your kids will be paying $5 for a can of Coke. Yeah, that's the problem. So as inflation goes up, credit ratings go down. When the credit rating goes down, not only are you paying base plus fees, you're paying base plus fees plus risk. That's a lot. That's a lot of juice. Then all of a sudden you start looking at it like, oh my gosh, what are we going to get out of this now? Right? I mean, now, then that 3 billion a day really gets jacked up really quick. It might turn to 3.5, 3.8 billion a day. Last chance is 1 XRP equals $1 million in debt paid. And that's the whole thing. The debt bubble is so big right now that you can't replace it with anything. You have to fix it. And how do you fix it? You have to cut your spending and you have to whittle it on down. You can't just void these debts. There's just too much of it. Trucker Trash with the train emoji. Love it. Chris says, good morning, Klaus. What's your thoughts on Stronghold? Is Stronghold going to be used by everyone? No. You want something to moon, man. You got to have people use it. It can't just be like a marketing thing. It's got to have big time usage. Got to have it. Jose Dominguez says, after last night, I'm glad XRP does not need Trump. Ooh. Oh, GI says, hey, Klaus, where's the HD quality? Honestly, I totally forgot about that because I just got back from Colorado and I did not have time to tinker with my settings. So yes, I will work on that. I do still have it in my notebook in front of me. I came back from Colorado not too long ago. We've got, hold on a second here. We've got 4 minutes left. Get your last second questions in. Thank you though for the reminder, GI. Yeah, so the debt thing. Be very careful of that narrative out there that they're going to replace debt with crypto. You still have debt. And think about it. Just the United States' interest eats up XRP in 10 days. Just the interest, not the United States' actual debt. Just the interest portion of the payment would eat up XRP in 10 days and wipe it out. Then it would be worth jack. 10 days. 10 frickin' days. Bitcoin would be eaten up super quick as well. Bitcoin would really get eaten up quick. Hold on, let me get to some action here. Bitcoin's market cap, 1.125 trillion. Divide that by 3 billion and you got your answer. What, like 37? Right? Something like that. So, or 370, maybe I'm missing a zero. Either way, debt's just too big right now. We need to fix it. Mike the Roofer says, I'm out, choo-choo bitches, still waiting at the station with my bags. The market wanted more, but as you are seeing, price is starting to claw its way back. Like I told you, when news happens, ignore about like the first chunk of data because it's all the people panicking, whether it's positive or negative. Then let people disseminate the data, and that'll tell you what the market's actual reaction is. Vance Poole says you cannot be biased in your investments. Yeah, and you can't be emotional about it. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's not about hopium. It's not about agendas. It's got to be about money, man. You got to make it all about money, and you just got to stick to the facts. FOMO, super dangerous. FOMO screws people over. Bob S. says, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Choo-choo. Totally. And, you know, it's money's going to come down. But what I'm excited about is that you're going to see the Fed fund rate getting cut. We're guaranteed at least that, right? We're guaranteed at least a 25. At least we got started here in the United States. We're a little late. I admit it. We're a little late. Oh, well. Last minute here of the stream. Get your comments and questions in. And then you know the deal. I'm going to play some music. Mr. Nasty. We're going to open up Mr. Nasty. We're going to play some music. Hang out in the chat for a little bit. But your questions come first. I'm just queuing her up in the hood, and you know the deal, right? You know the deal, Rev. The song that we're going to play. Let me get back up to the heat map here, baby. So, last thoughts, last comments are this. It is all about debt, and it is all about consumer spending. If you're paying a lot for groceries, if you're paying a lot for a house, if you're paying a lot for a car, you can't pay a lot for your crypto. And when retail is the only thing right now fueling crypto, because you got to be honest with me, banks could easily buy up 53-cent XRP, but they're not. We don't have regs because the people doing the regs are too busy hoeing themselves trying to get your vote. Now, the reality is the system itself is messed up, inefficient, pisses our money away, and doesn't allow for continuous improvement. So that's the deal, Lemon Peel. I'm going to hang out with you in the chats. I will catch you cool cats later. And as always, choo choo bitches.